Hey folks, it's time for Freewheel Prepper. So I'm working on this red truck. It's a 97 Ford Ranger. And the brakes are really weird on it. So like you hit the pedal and it's firm at first and then it just gets weak and then it falls down and it hits the front brakes. And I'm like, is there a leak? Well, I come to the master cylinder. The master cylinder's full. It's not leaking. I'm looking for any leaks under the truck. Not seeing any. I pressurized the system with my brake bleeder, my power bleeder. 15 psi. It holds it. I'm like, what the heck's going on? And so I come up here to the master cylinder, right, and I crack the brake line loose and I see fluid flowing. So I'm like, okay, well, let's go to the next spot, which is the two-wheel ABS controller. So there's a little hydraulic controller. Wilson, I'm doing a video. Bad dog. Anyway, so I crack that loose. I get fluid flowing here. I go down and I crack it loose at the front of the ABS pump. This line's been replaced at some point, right? And I know the shop that was working on this. And so the message I got was that they did the front, but then they were waiting on the back or something and it was taking too long. The guy wanted to leave. So I don't know, but I'm thinking that ABS pump must be plugged up. But I'm like, you know what, before I call that, I'm going to crack that line loose in front and see if I got a plugged line. Even though it's just been replaced, it should be fine. Well, guess what? I got a plugged line. I crack it loose down there, no flow at all. Bone dry. I come back here, and if you look really close, on the end of this, there's a small tack shoved in the end of it. And then they tightened it on there to block it off right here. So I don't know if having that much pressure built up right at the master cylinder has hurt the master cylinder too, or maybe it just is bypassing. I don't know, but we're definitely going to just replace this with a good piece of Nycop, put a couple new ends on it, and then try to bleed the system and see if there's any other leaks going back to the rear wheels, any other lines that need replaced. But yeah, the front brake lines, I mean, they left one rusty line coming from the master cylinder to the driver's wheel, and then there's a proportioning valve, and they replaced the line going over to the passenger side. Not the end of the world. I mean, that line's rusty, but it's holding pressure fine. I mean, it's just surface rusty. So yeah, I don't know what, I'm assuming that there was a leak back there at some point. Somebody thought, oh, we'll just block it off with the nail. Whether that was the shop that did that or not, I don't know. Or maybe they were going through the same thing, trying to figure out, like, why isn't it giving us any fluid? What's going on with it? But anyway, that's the problem. So I will get that replaced, and we'll see where we are from there. But yeah, this isn't this old girl's first rodeo. She got the AC compressor bypassed with a bolt that's 2 ribs too small. Yeah, she's been around the block a time or two. That valve cover gasket is leaking on this, and the oil pan gasket and the rear main seal. T3s all do that. But you know, is what it is. Alright folks, I just thought I'd share that. You know, if you're not getting any flow, see if somebody stuck a nail at the master cylinder. Alright, I'll talk to y'all later. It's time for Freewheel Prepper. Alright, so I got my Nycop run down to that ABS control and pressurized the system, and I found the other leak is at the rubber hose that goes down to the differential. So it's on the steel line side of it. So probably going to have to run another piece of Nycop from that ABS valve back to there tomorrow. And then I got a bleeder hung up here on the passenger side, which I'll have to extract that bleeder if it comes to that. But work our way through it a little at a time, I guess. Yeah, that's what, money's money, even on rusty, crusty trucks. Doing brake lines is time consuming, but it's not really that hard. So now I just gotta worry about that tomorrow. I'm gonna go inside, get some sleep. It's been a long day. It's like 11 o'clock at night. I'm done. I don't know, it's like 10 or 11, I think. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. It's Tom, Frugal Prepper.